Okay, I would love to thank our sponsor for today's episode, Hum Nutrition. Hum Nutrition is my favorite beauty supplement brand. I have so many of their products sitting in front of me right now, from their daily cleanse to the big chill to the uber energy, which are all full of super herbs and adaptogens, are so good for you in every way and help to bring your body back to homeostasis. I want you to know that you can use the code SOUL, SOUL, at checkout for 20% off of all Hum Nutrition products. So if you're not sure what supplements to start with, they have some different quizzes you can take on their website, humnutrition.com. You can also speak to different nutritionists on their website for free, which is an incredible perk of just purchasing from them and heading to humnutrition.com. I think that's so cool that they do that. So you can put in how you feel, what your deficiencies are that you might think that you have, and where you need a little bit of balance in your life and a little bit of herbs and supplement love to bring you back to homeostasis. So I want to tell you a couple things that I love in the daily cleanse. So this one really helps to clear your skin and your body from toxins. It's all about beauty starting from within. Just like all of their supplements, it's pure and potent. It's non-GMO, gluten-free, sustainably sourced, and has no artificial colors or preservatives. It's full of chlorella. So all these things that are in the daily cleanse are stuff that I would take anyway, just one by one, except for I think it's so cool that you can take it all in one supplement. So chlorella, spirulina, dandelion leaf extract, beetroot powder, Oregon grapefruit, milk thistle, matcha, zinc, selenium, copper, and manganese. So you're getting tons of different nutrients, tons of different vitamins that your body will soak in and use to basically make you feel amazing and make you radiate from the inside out. So they also have my other favorites that I have right here next to me, the Big Chill and the Uber Energy. And I take the Beauty Z every night to sleep. You guys know I have such insomnia and this has been helping so much. So head to humnutrition.com, use the code SOUL, SOUL, for 20% off at checkout. Enjoy. Send me pictures on Instagram, post on your Instagram stories. They have the cutest branding. They also recently gifted a bunch of product to our first 100 members of the Waking Back Up to Your Own Soul course. So I've been super grateful and I just love them. Amazing product, kind people. Check them out, humnutrition.com. Hello and welcome to the Balanced Blonde podcast, Soul on Fire. You are listening to one of our best of the show episodes today, meaning that I am taking a brief hiatus from the show for the first time since starting it 3 years ago to focus on my health and focus on my wedding and just really enjoy this season of life. And I hope that it inspires you to put yourself first in your own life. We have nothing without our health, and I have not had my health for the last couple of years, so I am striving to get back to a healthy state in my body, in my mind, and I am so over the moon to share everything that brings. So I hope that you enjoy our 8 best of the show episodes, which are some of my favorite episodes from the show over the last couple of years and also many of your favorites. So today you'll be listening to one of those and I cannot wait to see how it serves you and how it inspires you. And if you've heard it before, then perhaps this time it will teach you something new. And maybe you've never heard it before, and today's the perfect day for you to listen to it. So whether it's the first option or the second option or something else, I know that you're here for a reason, and sit back, relax, and enjoy. I'm so excited to come back and host new episodes and connect with you guys. But until then, please enjoy these episodes if the podcast inspires you, I would love and be so honored for you to leave a rating and review on iTunes and send me a screenshot to jordan@thebalancedblonde.com. And I will send you a free gift as a thank you, and thank you personally and chat with you. And I'm just so grateful for everyone listening. Also, we have a Facebook group, the Soul on Fire Podcast Tribe on Facebook. Please join us there to keep the conversation going and enjoy, live a soul on fire life. And if you're healthy, enjoy your health. I'm so eager to get back to that. And if you are also struggling with chronic illness, just know that you're not alone. We have a lot of episodes on this show pertaining to chronic illness. So give those a listen if you're interested, and enjoy. We will head into the episode now. Jessie, I'm so happy that you're here. I have missed having you on and seeing you, and we've just been like all over the place for the last who knows how long, because time doesn't exist, like we were just talking about. But you were last on this podcast probably 2 years ago.
It's crazy.
With Tara.
Yeah.
Talking all about how you glow.
I think I was just pregnant.
You were pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit pregnant.
You were pretty pregnant.
Oh, was I pretty pregnant?
Remember, you were the first pregnant person that Hudson met, my cat.
My gosh, that's
Remember?
right.
And he was like hanging on the back of your chair, and you were like, I don't really like cats. I was like, oh my God, I feel terrible. She's
no,
like,
but I think that he's like a very special cat, you know?
Yes.
He sensed I was pregnant, and he was drawn to me.
I know. And you're the reason why I know that he is drawn to pregnant people. So now one of my best friends is pregnant, and he just like leaps around her. Animals are so intuitive.
It's true.
I know. So that day we were talking about How You Glow, which is one of your amazing businesses with Tara. And if everyone listening is interested, you can listen to that episode, because I think today we're going to talk a lot about what else you're up to solo with your manifestation coaching and art therapy and your podcast, couples podcast about love. There's just so much awesome stuff that you're doing.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you so much. And it's been so cool to also see your business evolve as well. And I think it's cool that we're all just following our calling and what we're drawn to. And that's what's been so nice about being an entrepreneur and being able to just sort of, be taken away with what I'm interested in.
Right.
And pursuing that.
I know. It's so fun to be an entrepreneur, isn't it?
It's the best.
Is it something that you always thought you would do?
Yes. I was actually just saying this the other night at a talk that I had, that I never even considered having a 9-to-5 job. And that's not to sound pretentious in any way. It's just that is not something that I grew up around, really. My mom is a chef and a cookbook author and a teacher, and just also a life coach, and wears many hats, and also was a mom and was around and created her own schedule. So for me, I sort of absorbed that as the ideal for me, as like being able to do what I wanted and be passionate about my work and wear many hats, but also, since I am a mom, to be able to be present for my family and to cook dinner and to be with my daughter and, to be able to travel when I want to. So that was the goal. And I haven't really considered any other options. And that's why it is my reality.
Wow. That's so powerful. I remember listening. I haven't even told you this. I listened to you on someone else's podcast when I was driving back from my ayahuasca journey, which ended up being a 15-hour drive.
Whoa.
From Santa Cruz. It should have been 5 hours.
I'm sure you had a lot to think about.
I did. And you mentioned that having a session with your mom, a life coaching session, is kind of what brought you out here to LA and put you on this path.
Totally.
And it's so clear that you're on your path that you're meant to be on. I mean, if you guys don't follow Jessie yet on Instagram, the photos of your family and your life, you just radiate the most glowy happiness and love.
Thank you.
And it makes me so inspired all the time. So tell everybody listening how you manifested this life.
So it's a constant manifestation, so we're constantly creating our lives every day. If I woke up today and decided that I was not grateful anymore for my life, it would look very different, So it's waking up every day and being grateful for what you have, acknowledging that. And then from there saying, okay, what else do I want to create? It's like choose your own adventure. In my mind, life is exciting. It's fun. It's limitless. Whatever you want to create, you can. And whatever your position is, wherever you're at, you can make a shift. You can make a change. Nothing is fixed, especially your energy is not fixed. So that's the easiest place to make a change, is starting with just how you perceive things and what you're radiating out. And I try, my best to keep my energy super, super positive and radiate out goodness. And that is what has been reflected back to me time and time again. And, just on a more, literal way of manifesting, I, took the steps that got me to where I am. I, studied art therapy. I got my master's degree. I got a yoga teacher training. I started How You Glow with Tara, and I got to meet tons of incredible entrepreneurs and business owners and just healers and everyone that's super, super inspiring to me. And I wanted to learn more about relationships and learn about longevity and how to keep the spark alive. And so I started a podcast. It just starts with an idea, right? So it's like you have an idea, and if you don't jump on it, someone else will take that idea,
Yeah. Like the Elizabeth Gilbert Big
exactly.
Magic. Ideas are floating around in the ethers. And if you don't act on it, it'll jump to somebody else.
Exactly. And also there's enough for everyone to go around. So even if, there's a similar idea that someone else has, you can still do it your own way.
Totally.
You can just trust that if it's truly something that you desire, that it's worthwhile to do.
Yeah. Infinite possibilities for success.
Yeah.
I love that. So I love what you're doing with the manifestation coaching, which you might change the name and find a new way to describe it. But I've had the pleasure of doing a few sessions with you that are truly life changing.
Oh,
I'm not just saying that because you're here and because we're friends. Like, I was going through some really things that were really plaguing me. Both or 3 times. And you really just cut those cords for me, and I was able to move forward. So
happy to hear that. And that's what I hear, from a lot of people. And it's really cool because I work with tons of different types of people who want totally different types of things. Sometimes it's just like business stuff that they want to take to the next level. Sometimes it's deep inner work that they want to do. Sometimes it's finding love. It's finding, more balance in their life, or, just creating like their dream reality, like we're describing. And it's really, I can't even describe what takes place, but I feel like there's some sort of magic in the interaction, in the energy exchange that unlocks something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we've done it, I feel like we go to a place where we can see something similar, like the reality that I'm manifesting and dreaming up and my future in my mind. You're able to see it too.
100%. I hold the vision for you, and I see it exactly like I see it as if it is a reality right now, and that it's bound to happen. And it obviously could change as you shift, but in that moment, as you're creating that, I see it very, very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful. So how did you start doing this? Because you were already doing a handful of other things.
Yeah.
You have Amelie, your sweet little baby girl. What inspired the spark?
Yeah, I think what started the spark was that I was looking around at my life. It was a day when I was taking a walk on the beach. I had Amelie, I was wearing her in one of those baby wearers, and we live right by the beach. And I think I was, I can't remember, either Brian was there holding my hand next to me, or I was thinking about Brian, and I was just really feeling this, like, the deepest sense of gratitude for where I had ended up in my life, and like what had transpired to get me to where I was in this, like, beyond my wildest dreams reality. At the moment, I was just like it's just when that sense of gratitude like penetrates every cell and you like feel like you're like floating, you know?
Love that.
And I decided in that moment, literally in that moment, I have to help people to create their realities. Because I realized it was not an accident that my life ended up like this. It was all conscious choices. And it was everything that I'd ever wanted was there, but even better than I could have ever dreamt up. And that's not to say that we don't have challenges in my family or that we're perfect, but it's my version of perfect. Every challenge that we have, it's an opportunity for growth. As hard as it is, it's an opportunity for growth. And it's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. And I choose my current situation, you know? And that's what, it's not to say that you're going to get to the point of everything's perfect and nothing bad happens to you or nothing, you know, challenging happens, but it's that you are the creator and you take full responsibility for everything that exists. Yeah. So anyway, so in that moment when I was walking down the beach, some download came that I need to start helping people with this in this way of creating their dream reality. I got home and then I just literally posted on Instagram, like, this is what I'm doing now. I was like, I'm offering these sessions now. And it just took off. Like if people just were like, I want that. I need that, you know, and that's how it's been. It's been like a very easy thing to attract people because everyone wants to create their reality and needs a little bit of help doing so.
Right. Yeah. Everyone needs that. It doesn't matter where someone is in their life, you can always manifest more.
And I do it every day.
Yeah.
Like I'm like constantly checking in with myself and like, you know, reading tons of books about manifestation and reading, you know, anything that I can. It's amazing to be someone who helps heal other people because you have to constantly keep working on yourself.
Yes, it's a self-study like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is such a gift.
Yeah,
totally.
It's really amazing. It forces you to stay present, stay current, stay in your body and like work through things so that you can help other people do it too.
Yeah. So how would you say your process is similar or different to other things like law of attraction and other manifestation systems, formulas?
Yeah. So I think my system is based on everything that I've experienced. It's like a very personal, tailored thing of all the things that I'm really good at intuitively. So my art therapy background, primarily just as a therapist, like the art piece is so important in the creativity and the healing work of it, but that I've worked with people as a therapist. So it's coming from a very healing place and of understanding the mind and understanding the way the brain works. And like also my yoga background, which is all about the body and the way that we hold pain, experience, trauma, resistance, fear in the body. So that somatic piece is really important. So I was already pairing those things before. So I would do art therapy and yoga combined with journaling. And that was something I already was doing. So then the piece that, you know, sort of woven into the manifestation is a deep dive into someone's current experience of their reality. And without judging or censoring what they actually perceive to be in their current reality. Because sometimes we tell ourselves a story that's not true, you know, or we don't want to be honest about something or, you know, share what's really going on in our head because it's very different than what we're putting out there. But helping someone to get honest with themselves and with me about what's going on so that they can actively enhance, you know. So you have to evaluate where you are right now in each aspect of your life, what you're thinking about on a daily basis, what your routines are, what your patterns are, what your habits are, what your relationships are like, and really just looking at each of those pieces without judging or without hiding. And then from there, what is the dream reality in all of these realms? What is the dream day? What is like the state of your mind on these days? If you could choose, how would it be, you know? So then once you've like evaluated everything, it's figuring out what is blocking the person from being in that state. And the idea is that that state is already there. If you can think about it, if you can dream of a different reality, it's already in existence. It's real. It's inside of you. It's happening. It's just about catching up with it and doing the work to get ready to be in that level of existence.
Wow. That's so awesome. And I can attest. I mean, I've done this with you and holding that vision of my dream reality. Like that is so real in my mind ever since we've done it. And I see it all the time to the point where I'll say to Jonathan, like when we live on the beach in Malibu and we have our 3 kids and I'm traveling.
Yeah. And it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Well, yeah, literally. I say when, and he takes it that way too. Like, yeah, when we do that.
Because then it's already an imprint. It exists. And it's the same thing goes with like, you know, sometimes what you perceive to be negative, if you constantly talk about that, it's going to, you know, it's more likely going to be your reality too.
Yeah,
so definitely. It's like you could be saying, oh, I really want to live, like you said, let's say live in Malibu in a beach house, but that will never happen. That's like so unrealistic, whatever. And then it probably won't ever happen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like truly just being like, yes, of course, when we have that. And if you see someone else who has that, then you can have it too.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. They can expand your mindset. So do you have people that you look to who are like expanders for you in that way?
You know, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm inspired by many different people, but I think that I think what sets me apart and the reason why I don't have a lot of negative self-talk in my mind, which 99% of people that I work with, and I'll actually say 100% of people that I work with have negative self-talk, like, and it's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's something that I try to help people shift. I don't have negative self-talk. And I think it's because I don't compare myself to other people. Like it's something that I don't do. And
what? I mean, teach us all. That's amazing.
It's funny because my husband is the same way. We both do not compare ourselves. We don't have this feeling of like needing to do what someone else is doing or keep up with anyone. It's like truly about what makes us feel happy on a day-to-day basis. And so I think I gravitate and respect people who are even like, who are like that. I feel like when I see someone who's just like radiantly happy and like living their dream life, their truth, whatever that is, it could be a trailer on the beach. It could be, you know, a hut. Like it could be a mansion. It could be anything. It's not about the specifics. It's about the ease and the gratitude and the satisfaction and that feeling of like limitlessness and comfort in their own skin and confidence and relaxation and all of those things. It's like more of those qualities, which I can't even pinpoint right now someone, but it's just more of a feeling when I'm around someone, you know?
It's like an energy.
An energy. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're speaking to me so much right now. I mean, I think the goal for everyone is to eliminate negative self-talk and not compare.
Totally. I mean, it blows my mind how that's just the norm of having negative self-talk. And
I know.
Yeah. And so like I did a talk the other night. I said, raise your hand if you have like a negative voice constantly running through your head, and every single person raised their hand. And it's not surprising to me because every single person that I've worked with, whether it's in art therapy, yoga, all these things, that's like the human condition, but it doesn't have to be that way. It's a very normal part of being human, but it's not something that is a given.
Yeah. So how do we break free from this pattern? I mean, one question I have is social media, I feel, plays a huge role in comparison. And even for those of us who are really happy with our lives and grateful, and I'm so proud of where I am in my life, and it's all I've ever wanted. But I'll hop on social media and I'll see people doing more, quote unquote, or like people who are not sick the way that I've been sick. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to not be sick. I can't wait to be doing what they're doing.
Right.
How do we eliminate?
I've been in that too when I've been sick. And that's like, I feel like that's the thing that really triggers you is when you can't do something.
Yes.
Because most of the time we can do the thing. We're just not doing it.
Right.
But when you have that physical limitation and you actually aren't allowed to do something at that moment or don't feel well enough to do something at that moment, it's really tricky. And I think I actually just read something in a book that I liked, and it was like, let's say you're sick and you're not allowed to go on a run, but that's something that you love to do and it gives you a lot of pleasure and a lot of peace of mind. Even though you know you can't do it, you lay out all your clothes as if you're going to go for a run and like maybe someday you even put all the clothes on, you put the running clothes on, you like maybe take like a little walk around your apartment or your house or around the street and do something that sort of like mimics the feeling of getting ready to do it. So you're getting yourself in that mindset and knowing that eventually you will again and that it's possible, but just sulking around and be like, I wonder if I'll ever get to do that or when they're doing it and I can't. So it's like taking a positive action that evokes that feeling and that kind of like anticipation of something that gives you that good feeling.
Yes.
Or visualizing yourself doing it. So maybe you can't even get out of bed to lay out the clothes because you're that sick or you're in a hospital, God forbid, and can't move. But what about closing your eyes and visualizing yourself on that run and the sun shining on your skin and the feeling of the endorphins? If we can visualize that actually has a really powerful effect on our system and on our body. And so if there's anything that you see, I mean, the fact that you get, jealous on social media, whereas probably so many people would be so jealous of you. What does that say? It's all so foolish, right? It's like so pointless. And yeah, I think whatever you see, use it to inspire you. Use it to like, as a vision board. Oh, she's doing that. That looks awesome. I'm going to add it to my list of like things that I want to do one day.
Yes.
Cool. That looks like, oh, that's a really awesome house. I'm going to Pinterest that because like that'll be inspiration for the house that I create one day for myself.
So positive. That makes it fun when you see someone on social media living the type of life, doing something that you want to do. How fun is it to just add it to your vision board?
Well, that's actually why I love Instagram is because I feel like it creates all these moments of inspiration that I constantly send off things to my husband, like, oh, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes that actually, just like how an idea creates something in reality, and that creates something. Then, you go to dinner that night at the restaurant that you saw. And that's why brands, pay people like you and sometimes people like me to like advertise something. It's because it actually works. Like you see something and you're like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to go do that. And it's brought into your, your psyche, into your awareness. And that's like anything, like you said, with the expanders, you see someone doing something, you're like, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And then that's when a thought becomes a thing. An idea becomes an action and it becomes real in physical time and space.
Yeah. That's so incredible. I feel like that tidbit of information is going to help so many people listening because that comparison trap is, I often feel like it's the one thing, that's my block. Not that I even do it, I think, as much as maybe I have in the past or as I hear of other people being blocked by it, but it's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think if every time you acknowledge that feeling, so if you're on social media and you feel that feeling of less than or not worthy of or jealous or, envious of someone else, acknowledge it. Like let yourself really feel it and be like, okay, what about this is bringing something up in me? Like what about this photo, this image, this person? And use that as a way to learn about yourself and to go deeper. Because anything that brings us discomfort is simply an opportunity to go deeper and to learn, right?
100%. I mean, it's so amazing that this is coming up in conversation right now. And this just proves to me that there are no coincidences in this life and everything happens. Every conversation happens at the time it's meant to happen. Because just 2 days ago, I was having a very similar conversation with my facialist, Sadie Adams.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you know her.
I'm actually going to see her tomorrow. I've never met her.
Of course you are. Oh my! See, I knew if I said her name, you would be either say yes, I know her, or yes,
or I'm seeing her tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh my God, you're in for such a treat. So she's been on this podcast too, just for anyone listening who might want to learn more about her. Probably close to a year ago, but she is a shamanic facialist. And really works with energy and the body. And she's super intuitive. And what does she not do? I mean, she's amazing. And we talked about this and went really deep into my psyche to ask these questions. I don't even know where this began. We talked about, where's your stress coming from? Why are you stressed? Oh, I'm stressed because I'm sick. Well, that's not really it. Why are you? So we went deeper and deeper. And kind of the root of it was I'm stressed because I feel like I let people down because I can't do the things that maybe I used to be able to do, or be there for people, show up in the way that I used to. So the deepest root of it was I'm afraid that people won't like me anymore if I can't just like show up and force myself to be doing these things that I could do when I was healthy. So we worked with that, and it was so clear to me. And then Sadie said to detach from what other people think of me. It's more like I need to tap into what do I think of myself. So that was super powerful. I've been working on it for the last 2 days, and here we are talking about this.
Yeah, and I think when we really boil the root of any of our, our struggles or our fears and the things that block us, it's really this fear of annihilation, which is death, right? And it doesn't have to mean literal death, but like in your instance, it's like the fear of being like forgotten, or like, like not cared about anymore. And all of those outcomes like lead to it's not like the literal fear of dying right now, but it's like the things that will be so hard that it will just make us feel like we're gone. We're
Sadie
lost.
said the same thing. Yeah. I'm so excited for you to meet her.
I can't wait to see her. But yeah, so it's like that's the root, right? And it's like the complete opposite of that, as you know, is this idea of unconditional love, right? So it's that love transcends everything. And if we remember the flip side of that fear, we can step into the love and know that all of our needs are going to be met. We have deep, deep trust that we'll be okay, and that we'll be supported no matter what happens, as long as we're in our truth and that we're true to ourselves. And like, you have to just be true to yourself, right? And true to what you want to spend your day doing, what you're able to do, what's going to heal you. And that will be a cue to other people to take care of themselves. So by you taking care of yourself and creating boundaries around what you do or don't do with your time, that is empowering everyone in your sphere to do the same for them. And it's funny because I remember I had a friend, years ago when I lived in New York, and she said to me one time, and I was completely oblivious to this, but she said to me, I just have to tell you, like, the way that you sort of like say no to plans sometimes is so awesome and so inspiring to me, and like, it's directly to her that that she experienced this, that I would be like, no, I can't go. I'm too tired, or, and I kind of unapologetically would just create a boundary if it wasn't in my best interest to go to something that was like a social event or something. And she's like, I have never felt comfortable doing that. Like, I always felt like I needed to go do this. And she's like, since you've done that, it's made me be able to say no to a lot more things. And it's just really cool to see that.
It is cool to see that. All right, before we get into this episode, let's talk about our incredible sponsor, Cured Nutrition. So I am currently completely obsessed with Cured Nutrition CBD. I met their founder, Joseph, at an event several months ago. We really hit it off. Me and Jonathan chatted with him for a while. We learned all about Cured Nutrition, everything that Joseph and his brand are up to in Colorado. We learned about their mission and things that they're working to do as a brand right now. And I just fell in love. You know that I only work with brands that I love from the inside out. So when it comes to the people behind the brand, when it comes to the product, how they source their ingredients, etc., I'm very, very picky. And CBD is everywhere right now. So you're probably wondering what makes Cured Nutrition different. And before I tell you, I just want to let you know you can use the code BLONDE, as always, for a great discount when you shop their website, curednutrition.com. Definitely check out their mint tincture of CBD. It helps with sleep. It helps with pain. It helps with inflammation, helps to calm anxiety, helps to manage if you have a lot of pain in your body like I do. So what makes Cured Nutrition different is that they are very high quality. Every batch of their product is third-party tested and subject to a multi-stage inspection to ensure they bring only the highest of quality products to the market. all of their products are sourced from organically grown hemp and tested for potency, purity, pesticides, and heavy metals, which is so important for a variety of reasons. They're a very transparent brand, so they oversee the entire process of their products from seed to sale. They spend so much time researching and testing everything before they put any product on the market. So some of their products that I love, obviously the mint tincture, I talk about it all the time. I take it every time I need a little easing of my anxiety, and it also helps me sleep. I also love their pain balm. It's like a shea butter, kind of almost like a deodorant stick that you would rub on your body, except for pain. And it's so amazing. I use it on my hands all the time since I have felt a lot of pain in my hands from having Lyme disease being buried in my joints. Also, they are big on community and vision. They're a collective of heart-centered people. They are drivers of positive change, and they're just all about promoting a healthy regulation of the central nervous system. That's what CBD is for. So check out curednutrition.com. Use that code BLONDE. Know that they ship nationwide. They oversee everything. They're pure and potent. They even have food. They have tinctures. They have treats. They have everything you could ever want. So enjoy. Use that code BLONDE. Let me know what you get. Tag me on Instagram and have fun. I totally relate. I mean, I've had people say the same thing to me because one thing I have been pretty good at is saying no to plans. And I've had some super social, extroverted friends of mine be like, you know what? You finally got me to realize how important that is and how important that time alone is.
Totally.
Rather than like just trying to pack it all in.
Well, yeah. And I think that's when you truly manifest the most, is when you take time for yourself. I think it's kind of impossible, actually, otherwise. You need to create that quiet, sort of sanctuary-like space for yourself. And that doesn't mean necessarily physical space, but just the environment and energetic surrounding of you to really think deeply and get into alignment with what you want and what your truth is.
Yeah.
Because when you clutter your mind with just, lots of bombardment outside of yourself, you don't get clear.
Yeah, I completely agree. So how do you make that space and time for yourself with a daughter and a husband and businesses?
Yeah.
And friends and life?
It's woven into it's how I've created my setup. I need a lot of time like that, especially if I'm going to work with other people to help them heal. Like I need to be clear, so I schedule it in. We have two wonderful nannies that help us several hours of the week. And then I'm with Amelie from, in the morning and then 2 p.m. on every day. So I know I'm spending time with Amelie. So I know I've got my time with her. And also I work from home sometimes. She's around, I'm around. I know I see her. So it's not like I have a feeling of, oh, I'm not going to see my daughter.
Right.
I see her. Brian and I spend, we have dinner together almost every single night. We have breakfast together every morning. We see each other a ton. Like it's just a given that I'm going to see my family and that we're together. And then the hours that I have on my own, that I have help with my daughter, I make sure that I have my priorities straight, right? So for me, going to the beach, which is right down the street from my house, and having quiet time where I either run or meditate or walk or journal, just checking in with myself at the beach creates a tremendous difference in my day. And I do it every day. And then yoga is a huge one. So that I schedule in and I make sure I get to it. And then other than that, then I'm working. So, and I spend a lot of time reading, and reading I consider working too. I have my clients that I see. I have obligations for How You Glow. I have writing stuff that I do and the podcast, but it all fits in nicely because I have that time for myself too.
Yeah. That's so perfect. I remember you saying one time, you and Tara both, about How You Glow, that your intention was not to pump out content. It was to just create content in an inspired way and not feel so pressured to like get it out.
Totally.
Just like maybe some other publications or blogs or whatever. And that really spoke to me. And I feel like that type of mentality fits in with everything else that you're talking about. And keeping time for yourself and time to create new things.
Yeah, it's the only way. It's the only way that you can create. Well, for me, I'll say it's the only way for me that I can create my dream reality. And I have to practice what I preach, right? I have to be living. If I were just stressed out and working so much and not seeing Amelie, or, then I wouldn't be living my dream reality,
Totally.
So you have to think about that too when you're growing anything. Like, okay, let's say I become like a CEO and this is like the most successful business. It's like, how's my day-to-day looking? Is it still my dream reality? Okay, I might have to shift a few things to like make sure that I can still have what I want on a day-to-day basis. Because your day-to-day is your life.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us how you met Brian, because I love this story and you're in such a happy relationship. I feel like that's so expansive for people listening who are looking to manifest something similar. How did you meet?
So we met on a dating app called Raya. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. You know about it, Jordan, right? Yeah. So we met when Raya had just started. It was in beta mode. So there was probably, I'm not joking, probably like 20 to 25 people on the site. And 5 or 10 of which I already knew. Because when I signed up, I was like at a table with the founder and like the founder's roommate. And so we all sort of went on it. And then a couple weeks later, I sort of cruised through the site and you would see a photo montage of the person and they would choose a song with it. So it was actually a really fun site because you got to see these photos with the song and the song was sort of, reflective of their personality. And Brian's montage came up and I remember I think I was in New York and visiting my family and looking at this and I was like I can remember it so clearly, his montage, just the energy I felt from it. He was so fun and he loved his family. There's photos of him just like living his best life, just such an adventurer, like just this amazing fun energy. And he was also incredibly handsome. And we started messaging, we matched, we started messaging, and it was just instantaneous, like that our chemistry was on. We didn't talk that much. And then we went on our first date. He picked me up. I had never talked to him on the phone before. It was all just on through the app. And so he called me saying he was outside in an Uber. And when I met him, it felt just like a friend that I'd known for a long time. Like it was like, I wouldn't say there was immediate like fireworks or sparks or anything like that, but it was just this feeling of like, wow, I feel really, really comfortable with him. And the conversation, we went to a Mexican restaurant, the conversation flowed the entire time, like in the most effortless, beautiful, honest way. He walked me home, which was a very far walk, probably like 45 minutes, which is in LA, it's very weird. But we're both weird like that and like really like long walks. And we kissed each other goodnight. But it wasn't like this fireworks kiss either. It was more like I was kissing a friend. That's how it felt. It was like a friend that I'd known a really long time that, I had no doubt that it was an amazing date, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, my soulmate. Whatever. Yeah. And then our next date was a hike at Temescal Canyon during the day, like that weekend. And we went on this hike. And it was just this beautiful flow of conversation that never stopped. That just was like so familiar. Like we just were like discovering all these things about each other that just like really each of us loved. And then after that, we got a little bite and then we went to my car and we made out then. And that's when I was like, whoa, like it hit me like a truck. I was like, this is my husband, like 1000%.
Whoa.
Like it was this feeling of like complete knowing. And I called my mom after and was like, I was like giddy laughing. I was like, Mom, I met my husband. Like, this is insane. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm sure like this is and of course I could have been wrong. I could have been proven wrong. But in that moment, it was like, it's so funny because it was so different than the last time.
Right.
And it was like this like electricity so that's why I always say, give someone like, not that I actually really liked him and I would have given him another chance, but I wasn't, it wasn't like an obvious, oh my gosh. But actually after our first date, apparently he knew and he called his mom and said, I just met my wife after our first date.
Oh my God.
So it's really crazy. And then yeah, I mean, so many other things that just like kept reaffirming our vision of each other as, as soulmates. And
like what kind of things?
So, I mean, just the fact that we just like, sometimes you feel that and then you actually aren't in alignment, and it's proven that way. But we just, every date we went on, it was like, it just gets better and better and better and better and better. And yeah, I had to travel a lot actually for work. In the beginning of our relationship, I was in Australia for a few weeks and I was in Bali leading a yoga retreat. So the first bit of our relationship, I was away quite a bit. I think he had to go somewhere, but still it was just building such this strong, beautiful bond, but based on two very independent people on their own, which was, I think, so awesome and so crucial. And neither of us were really like thinking we would find the one anytime soon, if not ever. Right. I mean, he says he was not sure he'd ever get married again.
Wow.
Because he had been married before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I trusted in my heart that I would find the one, but I wasn't, if anything, I wasn't ready to. Like I could have gone much longer being single, but the second I met him, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing when that happens, when you're not looking. I feel like that's when it happens, when you're not in that desperation
when you're
mode
not attached to outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you're not attached to outcome and you're truly living your soul's calling and you're having fun and you're in that joy mode and really seeking out what brings you joy. And everything that I was doing leading up to meeting him just made me so much more me, like I had this whole string of adventures that I took before meeting him. And I feel like they all led me to him. Like I needed to do all of those things. I needed to like travel and meet all of the people that I met. And I, had a breakup before. So I definitely needed that time to just be out there and just see what was out there so that I would really know too,
Totally.
But yeah, and I am so grateful for finding my partner and being so sure of it. And each day being so grateful that that's what inspired also doing this with people, manifesting sessions with people. And I'm doing manifestation sessions with couples, which is what I wanted to talk to you about, is that I love doing it with couples before they get married.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's really, really incredibly powerful to set intentions as a couple, because what you're doing is you're joining your lives, you're joining your vision. And if you share a vision and can actually speak about your own personal visions, as well as like the shared vision as a couple, things will manifest just tenfold more powerfully.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love this. That's so powerful. While you were speaking, I was actually thinking like I would like to do a session with Jonathan with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%. Yes. Because before Brian and I got married, we did some, like, it's just kind of protocol to talk to the person that's going to marry you oftentimes. Yes. And ours was a rabbi. So we did these FaceTime sessions. And it was awesome. We like loved them and looked forward to them so much. And we would get super emotional. We'd cry, like in just this way of like really visioning our lives together and like thinking about what, our values were and what marriage meant to us and what kind of family we want to have. And all these questions that are so important to ask yourselves and talk about before you get married. And I think it like really contributes to the success of your marriage is to be on the same page and have the intention of being completely honest with each other about anything that comes up, Mm-hmm. And I think that just setting that stage for people and like really going into this state of radical honesty and visioning for the future of what you want your lives to be like as you join them together is so cool.
Oh my gosh, yes. That is so cool.
It's really fun.
I would love to do that so much. We had a session with the person who's marrying us, Nicola, who's this shaman who lives in Ojai. She's incredible. And we had some conversations that were just so beautiful about like the marriage, the wedding is the foundation for your life together. So just the beauty of that day and making it so synergistic with what we both want and symbolizing what we both want is such an exciting thing to think about.
And also, I don't know, I know that one of you is Jewish, or you're part Jewish?
We both are Jewish.
So are you guys creating a ketubah?
I don't know yet. What is it?
So we did this. We're both Jewish, and a ketubah is sort of your own contract that you create for each other. And it's not, we're Reformed, so it's not traditional. There's more, just more traditional ketubahs that are just like written out and that you sign. But ours, it's like vows that you create together as a couple. And it's written. So we had one of my childhood best friends. We wrote it together, but then she did like the calligraphy, and then Brian's sister did the artwork for it. And it's in our bedroom. So we have it up on the wall.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. And it was so fun writing these vows for our ketubah together. Like, it sounds, maybe it sounds like a chore or something, but I swear it was like, we would get so into it, and like, you're really making these sort of principles and values for your life together. Like, what are the things we struggle with, and how can we best prepare for those struggles? Like, how can we set ourselves up for success? What are the most important things for us? How do we want to, what are our intentions basically for our life together? And so ours is like, I have to reread it actually now that I'm talking about it. And I haven't read it in a long time, but it's so beautiful. And it's like everything just pertaining to our unique relationship,
Yes. Oh my God. I want to see yours.
Yeah, you can come over and see it.
It sounds so beautiful.
It's awesome.
That sounds like such a fun thing to do.
Yeah, you guys should do it. And
100%.
then you can get it made into artwork, and then you can put it in your home. And I feel like everyone should do it, not just being Jewish. I just think it's a really special reminder to have,
Yeah. And we're both Jewish, and we have some different Jewish elements coming into the ceremony, but also the spiritual elements, and just it's going to be so magical.
I'm so excited for you.
Yes. So I want to ask you a couple of the rapid fire questions as we near wrapping up. Do you know what your human design is?
I've never done it.
We have to figure it out.
I've never done it.
Do you know what time you were born?
I think around noon.
We'll have to look it up at a later point.
Yeah.
Do you know what your sun, rising, and moon signs are?
I know I'm an Aquarius.
Right.
And I really identify with being an Aquarius.
When's your birthday?
February 13th.
Oh, happy belated.
Thank you. And then I think my moon sign, I believe, is Leo, which I also really identify with.
Yeah.
So, and what isn't it that your moon sign is sort of like what you really are, and then Aquarius is sort of what you put out and you project to the world? Is that right?
Yeah. So your moon sign is like your emotions, your feelings, what you are on the inside. Your rising is how other people see you. And then, just like you said, the sun is kind of like what you project into the world. You're such an Aquarius to me.
I am
that makes
an Aquarius,
so much sense.
Fully.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm an Aquarius rising and an Aquarius North Node, which is like what your soul wants to pursue in this lifetime.
Wow.
So love Aquarius, feel very connected to it.
Yeah. I feel like Aquariuses get each other. They really get along, and they're drawn to each other.
Yes. And air signs, because I'm a Libra.
Because we're dreamers.
Airy.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Completely.
And we believe anything is possible.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah.
If you're an animal, which animal would you be?
A dolphin, without a doubt. A dolphin, 100%. And I feel like I have qualities of a lion. I feel like sort of like my yin and yang is dolphin and lion.
Ooh, I love that. Are you a night person or a morning person?
I'm a morning person in that I love the day. Like, I love when it's light out, and I love when the sun is shining, but I'm not like a super early morning person.
Yeah,
Brian gets up with Amelie in the morning and lets me sleep a little bit longer.
That's so
and
perfect.
I'm not really a night person. I like to go to bed pretty early.
Yep. Sounds familiar. What's one thing you've never been asked in an interview that you wish you had been asked?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe like what the best recipes I make.
What are the best recipes you make?
I make the best. I'm confident in that I make the best banana bread ever.
I have to try it.
Yeah, you have to try it. Although I don't think
banana
you could
bread.
probably eat it because
Yeah, the way that I'm currently eating, you're totally right.
So maybe when, on an off day when you're
when I'm in the future, when I'm feeling a little more healed and I'm not so strict.
Yeah, I make an amazing banana bread. I make also, I think you can eat this. I make the best oatmeal. Like
I could totally
ridiculously good oatmeal.
I love oatmeal.
And I make it almost every day and it's unbelievably good.
What do you put in it?
I chop up apples into the oatmeal and then I put tons of cinnamon and like all these amazing healing spices in it and raisins. And then I stew berries, just basically cook them down, frozen berries, and put them on top. And then I put almond butter on top and coconut and freshly chopped nuts and, whatever else is around. But it is so incredibly good. And then I brulee a banana and put it on top sometimes.
That sounds beautiful.
It's next
level. You should
level.
post some pictures
it's
of
like
that
pie.
because I want to see. Yeah, it sounds like it.
And I make really good chicken parm too.
Ooh, yum. I love that. I just had oatmeal for breakfast and
I'm like already starving.
Me too. I was already thinking about food. If you were a color, what color do you feel best represents your energy?
Ooh, I feel like a light, airy pink mixed with a light, airy blue, sort of like fading into each other.
I see that. I totally see that. And then final question, since this is a Soul on Fire podcast, what are your tips for people who are looking to set their souls on fire?
That's a great question. I think starting your day, the way that you start your day can really impact your entire life because every day, like I had said before, is a representation of your life and we're given a new chance every day to create our lives. So starting your morning with gratitude, waking up and not just rolling over, but being like, wow, my body, like I'm so grateful to have these legs, these arms, these eyes to see, letting the sun come in your window, being just very present and conscious to the miracle of life when you wake up. And then journaling a little bit if you have time, writing down what's going on, clearing your head. Because a lot of us who do have negative thoughts, it's a good way to just expose them and just see what's going on and dispose of them as well. And, then I really like to set intentions for my day. So I always say it's like seeing a movie of your day beforehand, but projecting the best possible outcome for everything that you have set up already and creating space for things that aren't set up to arise. So let's say, you have this meeting and you've got that annoying call that you have, but you also have this, fun lunch plan and just seeing yourself go through the motions of your day, but you as the most vibrant version of yourself, attracting miracles everywhere you go and like sparkles coming from you, just that beautiful energy that you bring with you everywhere you go throughout your day, envisioning that. And then having a great breakfast, having, lots of water throughout your day and, eating beautiful foods that nourish you and blessing your food, thanking the universe and spending time in nature. And being with people that bring you a good feeling, making you light up inside and observing, at the end of the day, observing how the day went and seeing what what you could have done differently so that you can make the next day even better.
I love it. Such beautiful words. So tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at my Instagram is Jessie De Lowe. JessieDeLowe. You can find my podcast that I do with my husband, Brian, at Madly Forever. And it's also on Spotify, iTunes, and thefullest.com. And then How You Glow, you can check out the website, howyouGlow.com, or the Instagram is at How You Glow. And I just want to thank you so much, Jordan, for having me on and for you continuing to inspire with everything that you do and being so transparent about your journey. Because I think that transparency is so healing for everyone who's listening and everyone who's following you. And you keep it so real, which inspires everyone else to be themselves as well.
Thank you. Such an honor to have you here. This is so fun. Can't wait for everybody to check you out. And we'll do this again soon.
For sure. Thank you, my love.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this Best of the Show episode. I'm so happy to be able to release some of these episodes with our very inspiring guests. And I know some of these are solo episodes, so whichever you just listened to, I hope that you enjoyed and I hope that it served you well on your path and left you feeling inspired to live a more soul on fire life. So please, if this show served you or inspired you, I would be so honored if you would leave a rating and review in iTunes if you have time this week or anytime. And if you send me a screenshot to jordan@thebalancedblonde.com, I will send you a free gift as a thank you. Also, please join us in our Soul on Fire podcast tribe on Facebook. Be sure to check out and support our sponsors of the show, which can be found in the show notes. We have some amazing sponsors of this show, from Four Sigmatic Mushroom Coffee to Cured Nutrition, CBD, to Hum Nutrition, beauty supplements. So these are things that I take every single day that I want everyone to know about. So definitely check out all of those discount codes that you can find in the show notes, because this is stuff that I want you to enjoy to the fullest and use in your life, and also get those special discount codes. So thank you so much for being here. I'm already so excited to come back with new episodes after my hiatus, and I hope that me putting myself first during this season of my life will inspire you to do the same in your life, whatever you are dealing with or going through. And if you're more interested to hear about my time off and my hiatus, I have a solo episode all about it that you can find. I believe it is, let's see here, episode 156. So enjoy that if you haven't listened yet, and have an amazing Soul on Fire day. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. And just know that when I am ready to be back, I will be back with bells on, and can't wait to connect then. I love you guys. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm not currently taking an Instagram hiatus, so you can find me at The Balanced Blonde there, and let's connect. Mwah. Have an amazing day.